Tipa, Anapu, Pillali, bienvenidos a la Hora Indigena. I am Muteado Silencio con voz de migrantes en resistencia, straight from the Purepecha land, Michoacan, Mexico. La Hora Indigena is a show focusing on the ongoing struggles and resilience of indigenous people throughout Pachamama, tonanzi, tlalli, coaltlicue. On today's segment, we will focus on climate change and how it's impacting indigenous people throughout Pachamama. But first, I want to start us right with a little spoken word, a little poetry. You know myself, so this is a little piece that I wrote about climate change. From sun up to sun down, 365 days with machete in hand, cutting or chopping the harvest to live another day, to live with my family, with my love, with my children, with humanity, with Mother Earth. 365 days with machete in hand to defend the future of Mother Earth, intoxicated with chemical components, smog, creeping inside, showing sickness or weakness. Mother begs her children to save her before the cancer, before global climate is too late. 365 days with machete in hand to stand against the injustice committed against the ones who cannot defend themselves, against the rape of Mother Earth. 365 days with machete in hand to defend, to not give up, to fight for Mother Earth. 365 days to see my grandchildren play, to grow to be an old man. 365 days to go against the grain. 365 days with machete in hand. And I want to be big shout outs to all the warriors. And I'm not talking about the Golden State Warriors, but the warrior people that came to the refinery walk right here in the Bay Area in Benicia. My sister Tiny and Port News Network were there supporting and reporting. And with that, I want to show and share a little interview that was done by my sister Tiny from a sister warrior straight from New Zealand. So check this out. It's a little piece, and we'll chop it up more a little bit about what's going on.
Okay, what is your name?
My name is Tina Napa.
All right, and where are you from?
I'm from Ngāti Koro, the East Coast, East Cape tribes of Tika Maori, also known as the North Island of New Zealand.
Wow. Okay, can you tell viewers and listeners from Core News Network who are struggling with poverty and environmental and plastic racism all over, how and what's happening in your what we thought was beautiful lands with these corporations?
Yeah, unfortunately, corporations know no borders, right? They're global beasts, and so they've certainly extended into our land as well. We have a high level of unswimmable waterways, a very sad level of unswimmable waterways. 60% of our overall waterways are unswimmable. 90% of our low-level waterways are unswimmable due to high levels of E. coli and enterococci, largely from the dairy industry, dairy and agricultural industry, dairy and sheep. So forestry also devastates our lands and waterways on the East Coast, largely through sedimentation of our waterways. So we're working really hard to figure out ways that we can try to pull back on these industries or ask them to be more sustainable in their practices. And now, of course, we have the appearance in more recent years of the oil industry. They've been in the East Coast for a long time, actually, for many, many years. But they're starting to creep over into the East Coast now, so using seismic blasting.
So again, this happened last weekend here in the Bay Area in Benicia City. Again, Benicia has one of the biggest refiners here in the Bay Area. Also, is close where Chevron is located at. But again, I think that the point to make here is that, like the sister warrior was talking about, that these impacts is not only happening in New Zealand, not only is happening here in the Bay Area as she's talking about, but also is happening in the Amazonas in Brazil. And I think as of indigenous people, we know that we are the first impacted people, right? We are the people that the majority of the times are the people living closest to these areas, to these refineries. Also, for example, what happened with the pipeline here in the Dakotas, right, where it was going to be built first, where rich and middle class people live, but they say no, we don't want that here for our children. We don't want this for community. And the next thing that they did is they went and built it next to the indigenous, to the Lakota people. Again, next to the people who are facing more poverty, who have no means of actually fighting these big corporations. They are coming into our communities and not only polluting the land, but also as people, we see how it's impacting our own health. With the different the rates of cancer, the rates of asthma. You can go on the list of the illness that are people. And I think that one thing to point out that as indigenous people, we understand that whatever we do now is going to impact the 7 generations that are going to come forward. And so we also think about that. What are we doing now that is going to impact our youth, our children? But I think that as an indigenous person, indigenous people has been outspoken of these issues about refineries, about coal mines, and how it's impacting us, it's impacting the earth. And I think one of the things that the white man doesn't understand and have a concept is that Mother Earth, Pachamama, and coaltlicue is a living thing. I do believe that if we keep on polluting, there is, for every action there's a reaction. So again, big ups to all the warriors. They came out there and support the refineries. Also shout outs to the local people, the Aloni people of these lands, Corina Gold, and all the young folks too who are standing up, and fighting for the right of clean air, fighting for the right of having clean water. In these times, the corporations have respect for nothing, and unfortunately, we see with the way they're moving, the way they move at the pipeline in Dakotas, where they literally shut down everybody and kicked and brought the military. But again, I think that it's our duty to stand up and fight back. And I want to share this quote that comes from a native elder that says, "Only when the last tree has died, and the last river has been poisoned, and the last fish has been caught, we will realize that we cannot eat money." Yes, money cannot. You can't eat money, and money won't save you from the destruction that we're doing to Pachamama, tonanzi. So again, just stay tuned. Also, be up there in the lookout for all the indigenous movement that is happening in terms of global climate change and also the desecration of our lands. This is Muteado Silencio again, Voces de Migrantes en Resistencia. Peace out.